We really need a third mic.
That's going to be the title of this podcast today, is We Really Need a Third Mic.
Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com, the software and services company that helps nonprofits raise more money more efficiently.
To that end, listen to your donors. I'm not trying to plug MarketSmart, but maybe I am. Through our surveys, we see this all the time. There are comments left. You guys send me way too much mail. Please take me off. Well, please, do what your donor asks. They're going to appreciate you much more for it.
Hi there, I'm Tim Chen, Marketing Solutionist at MarketSmart. On today's episode, we are joined by Jen Willett, an account manager at MarketSmart. We dive into what it's like to be a donor, hear stories from our experiences donating to various nonprofits. Not sure what engagement fundraising is? Well, you will soon.
Welcome to Engagement Fundraising. This is the most unplanned episode you'll ever listen to. We pulled Jen in here.
I pulled you both in here. It's Tim and Greg and Jen, and it's Friday.
I get to say hello. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here.
Jen's an account manager. She's not somebody that we just kind of grabbed off the street.
That would be interesting.
That would be. Yeah, random person. I pulled everybody in here, because it's Friday, and I'm just feeling a little funky. I've come out of my shirt a couple times this week. I'm trying to cool down. Let's cool down, okay? We're gonna have fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, actually, I'm probably going to come out of my shirt. You know why? Is because I wanted Jen to explain what we do around here when it comes to donating to charities. So what do we do?
All right. So Greg actually gives us all this very wonderful exercise to do, because those of you who are familiar with MarketSmart know that everything we do is really for the donor. I mean, of course, we're out there helping fundraisers, but in the end, this is all about your supporters, your donors, making them feel good, making them, connected to your organization. So we have this wonderful little exercise where you're challenged to make a donation somewhere. Give, whatever dollar amount it is that you want. It could be as little or as big as you want. And start seeing how you're treated. And sometimes this is a little bit of a heartbreaking kind of exercise, to be perfectly honest with you.
And what do I do?
MarketSmart very graciously matches that donation 100%.
See, my head is getting bigger. My head is getting bigger.
But it's a wonderful initiative because, we're killing a couple birds with one stone here. First off, you're getting the experience of what it's like to give to something that you care about and see how you're treated by an organization. And, of course, we're supporting great missions here, and we're doing it twofold. So.
Yep. Tim, we all know he's a trust fund baby. And he gave $200,000 to, yes, he did. And I was like, holy how am I going to match that?
Tim's over here turning red.
Yeah. He's not a trust fund baby. Poor Tim. Can you imagine what $200,000 looks like? It would fill up this room.
It would take up all my student loan debt.
I always say that giving, it's very selfish that I match everybody's giving around here, because I want every single person has to understand what it feels like to be a donor. Not everybody's, built that way or even thinks about giving. I just want to make sure that everybody cares. Just a minute ago, you said it's because everything we do here eventually is really for the donor, but it's also for the beneficiaries, like the people that the donors give to through the organization. This is a funky company because we're really trying to help a lot of different audiences. We're trying to help the fundraisers, of course, but we're trying to help them help the donor so that in turn the beneficiaries get helped as well.
Right. It's the full cycle.
Yeah.
Jed, what have been some of your experiences getting responses back from nonprofits?
I would love to tell you that in every instance I was acknowledged, not with just some kind of an automated, thank you, but those are good too. They need to happen. There needs to be acknowledgement. A tax receipt usually needs to be sent. This is great, especially, for those of you who are listening to this now around tax time. But for the most part, you can just kind of tell after that you're not necessarily valued in a way that you would hope after you've given to something that you really care about. So for instance, I actually went so far as to make a very, from my standards, generous donation to an arts organization that works with community groups to help, children get involved in the arts, and it's a lot of after school programs, things like that. And I went so far as to actually request a tour And I'm sure that there's a threshold for that. If you don't give a certain amount, we
Right,
don't want to pay
yeah.
attention to you. I get it. My brother did the same thing. And I don't know that he gave that much more than I did, but he did end up getting a little card about a year later.
That's quite the turnaround time there.
Yeah, a year later. I, on the other hand, have gotten several direct mailers asking me for money.
Hold on. So let me just make sure I understand. So you were ignored. Actually, I shouldn't say you were ignored because you were asked to give again. So are you a millennial?
Technically, I'm a millennial.
Technically, I'm millennial, but I don't identify as that.
I do not identify as a millennial.
No,
are you,
definitely not.
Are you a they?
I would consider myself on the cusp. I'm not Gen X for sure, but I'm at that very beginning stage of millennials.
To me, they have smartphones when they're like 10. Like, I didn't have a smartphone until like college. Different experiences, I think. I'm not sure where you're going with this, though.
I'm not sure where I'm going with this either.
What I can tell you is, in all of these direct mail appeals that I received, not once was there any kind of story about what my money was going to do. Not once. There's another case that I donated to another organization, a very well-known organization, and granted they're huge, but every direct mail appeal that I get a new member ID card. What does this member ID card do, you ask? Nothing. It does nothing. I have a number on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use that number for anything. I don't know what the purpose of it is. I was never explained if there was any purpose. But I get one every time. It's always signed by some CEO.
Quarterly, monthly, yearly?
Actually, it depends on the time of the year, but at the end of last year, it was monthly.
That's ridiculous. There's no benefit being explained to you, which needs to happen.
Correct. Nothing.
So, Jen, you're an engagement fundraiser, right?
I would say so, yeah.
We like engagement fundraisers, right?
We do.
We do.
Because I coined that phrase. And my head gets big when people use the word engagement fundraising. I like that, right? I think what I'm trying to get at here is that this world is changing really, really fast, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're a millennial or you're a Generation Xer like me or a baby boomer like my in-laws. It doesn't matter. Maybe the silent generation, you can get away with stuff like this. But we're seeing in our engagement fundraising dashboard, the Market Smart dashboard, we see 80-year-olds all the time clicking, downloading videos, looking at this, looking at that, signing up to volunteer. We see it real time. We see these older people engaging online. 99% plus of the time that people spend engaging with a charity is done online. Okay? Now, I recognize that a lot of the volume of giving, the number of gifts, the quantity is done through direct mail. But I also know that the percentage of the revenue going to charity in that way is not coming through the mail. So this is noise, okay? There's a lot of noise out there. And people do not like noise. Nobody wants noise. Nobody wants to be shouted at. Even fundraisers who send out that mail do not want to get it. Now, yesterday, I was talking to somebody whose paycheck is dependent on how much mail they send out. And this person said, we're engaging, but what we're doing is wonderful. We're helping people. And sure, we're failing 99% of the time because we only get a 1% response rate. But that 1% is glorious. I don't think that's right.
Would agree with you.
I think we in this sector can do better. And I think that if it was okay in the old days to go into a dirty phone booth and have to touch the dial to make the call, and then you'd put a nickel or a dime or a quarter or whatever it is, and you put that money in and then it doesn't work. So then you pull the lever and then the money doesn't come out, and then you kick it and then the money finally comes out, right? And then you break the window and then there's like some number for a good time call on the side, right?
Where are you dialing people?
It's dirty. It's dirty. And then you close the door and it's hot in there, and then it starts fogging up, and then you're trying to make a call, and then somebody comes over and they start banging on the window and you're like, get out of here, I'm on the phone, leave me alone. Right? So that's the old days.
Yeah.
That's the old days.
I bet you 50% of the people listening to this have not experienced even 10% of that story.
Well, I'm embellishing, okay?
No, but you're right. I mean, it's not that way.
It's not a great
not that way, right?
experience, right? Now we all have smartphones, and it's pretty friggin' great. And we love it. We love our phones, right? And here's what I'm trying to say, okay? It's over. Stop using telephone booths. Stop it. Use the iPhone. Yeah, this is a big sales pitch for MarketSmart, but I don't care if you use our software or not. I really don't. I'm just saying use the mindset. Use the mindset of saying if you don't want to be treated in a certain way, why would you treat your donors in that way and think that the 99% failure rate is okay? I don't get it. And you're a perfect example. Here's what's happening is people like you, Jen, are very cynical.
Yeah. I'm a member of that generation.
You are
for
the
sure.
cynical generation. And if nonprofits, if charities, if colleges and universities are cratering when it comes to like figuring this out and engagement, the advancement office is completely separate from the career counseling. I just heard about a underfunded career office. They can't afford anything. The career office and the advancement office actually should be put together and be turned into like a mentoring office to provide value to the younger generation and the older generation. Who's going to do that? That would create a win-win and engagement. But you know what? This one that I heard about at the university, the advancement office holds the space. They have the space. So they actually charge the career counseling office rent.
Sounds awfully backwards.
And they won't work together.
Yeah. No, there's got to be a lot of rethinking.
Mind blowing. They won't work together, but they want the rent. Pay me.
You know who feels the pinch, though?
The donors and the students that are supposed to be future donors.
Right. It starts from way, way in the beginning. There's some alumni relations offices that are getting that, but not a lot.
Yeah. Everybody's got to take a step back. Take a step back and look at what you're doing, see and feel how you're treating your donors. Now, here's my challenge to wrap this up. Let's try and end this on a high note because I feel bad. I feel bad. I beat up the fundraisers. I don't want this to be a downer. I don't actually feel bad.
Full circle.
But I don't want to beat up the fundraisers because here's the thing. I'm also the defender not only of the donor and the beneficiary, but of the fundraiser. What I'm against is the machine. Here's what I recommend is that especially the fundraising staff must, number one, donate to their own organization. And I've heard people say, well, but hold on, I work here or I give my time.
I hope that makes you care about it more.
Yeah. Just to see what the experience is like and see how they're treated. I get it that maybe you're even underpaid. I'm talking $5. Don't go to Starbucks today and just donate $5.
Yeah, if only just to get yourself in that nurturing workflow, whatever it is, at your nonprofit, because that'll be very telling to you.
And then even I recommend you donate to another charity. You've got to see how it feels.
Can I add just a little detail here? So just kind of circling back to what I had mentioned before, you know, you're right. A lot of donations don't necessarily come through the mail. In all cases, I never donate through direct mail. I do it online. So all of these organizations have my email address. They do not communicate to me via email. I would challenge or add to your challenge to not only give a donation, but make sure you're doing it online and give your address so you start receiving that direct mail too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a large organization that have like recurring monthly set up for, and at the end of the year, they didn't even bother to send me a tax receipt. And if I wanted a receipt, there's no online system for me. It was a very manual process. It's baffling. Some of the larger organizations, just the oversight and the experience.
Learn about a free resource available from us here at iMarketSmart.com in this quick break. This week, I want to encourage everyone to download MarketSmart's ultimate how-to guide for conducting nonprofit donor surveys, found at iMarketSmart.com/survey report. This free report will help you build your caseloads by showing you why surveys uncover who has wealth and capacity, why they tell you who really cares about your mission, how they show you how to update your donor records to clean up your database. Plus, you'll learn how to save time and improve efficiency and inspire supporters to give more. Get your free copy by going to www.imarketsmart.com/survey report. That's imarketsmart.com/survey report. With that, let's get back to the episode.
So we just beat the everybody, right? We just beat the crap out of a lot of fundraisers out there.
And we don't want them feeling bad. We want everyone feeling happy, like a fundraiser should make other people feel happy.
There's hope.
Mm-hmm.
There is hope. I'm the one who's punching holes through things and I'm making people angry. Some people are scared. They're like, oh my God, the world is changing. What am I going to do? I got a printing press. I need to keep it running. You know?
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm sorry. You got to change. Okay? Now, on a positive note, let's talk about the wins. Let's talk about the people who are doing it right. And I'm not talking about in major gifts. I mean, I know this is mostly, we're always talking about major gifts and bequests, but let's just talk about the vibe. Mm-hmm. So, Tim, Jen, was there ever a time that you were treated right, that you felt awesome?
There is an organization that I gave to, and this was actually part of the experiment, and I've been giving to them now for 2 years. I had no affiliation with them before. I literally, for this experiment, Googled them and read their mission. It was very well stated. It's a DC organization that helps the homeless actually get into culinary training and start careers, turn their lives around. It's really fantastic. Sent them an online donation, provided my address. I'd say I received maybe about 4 direct mailers a year, but each time it's a very nice letter that outlines exactly what's been going on with the program. There's always included a little buck slip and a flyer about one person who's a real person. There's a photograph. It's their written story. They actually spell it out. And I get to learn, what that person did over the last year and how they've been helping their community now. In addition to that, they've also got a very nice setup where they do interviews with the people that they actually help. And those people thank donors for that. And it's emailed to me, I would say, also on a quarterly basis. It's just a link that I can click. I go to their website, and it's a nice story about what my contribution actually did to help someone get back on their feet. And then I have to tell you, at the end of the year, they sent me a nice little holiday card just to say, you're making a difference. We just wanted to let you know, thank you, have a good holiday. And then after that, I got one appeal, and it was a matching appeal. I thought, how could I not take advantage of that? They're doing great work. I should double that. And sure enough, they got a donation out of me, and they will continue to. This is an organization I had no affiliation with whatsoever, but they've established a relationship with me. They didn't have to reach out personally to me. I'm not a major donor, I'll admit, but they've done a really nice job facilitating that relationship and just providing me information about what's going on. It's been great.
So they made you feel good. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you make people feel good, that's pretty much every communication that we do for our customers. It's all thinking about where the customer is in the consideration process, the donor journey. What did they do last time? They used to call this, I guess they still do, they call it like moves management, but it doesn't have to be all that complicated. Just make sure that what you're doing makes people feel good. Tim, you ever felt good?
I feel good.
You feel good all the time.
I'm not as cynical as Jen. I don't have an amazing story like Jen. Best I can come up with is at the end of this last year, I got this really high quality calendar with beautiful photos reminding me of, why I care about this organization. And it's, a calendar you'd pay $5 in a store, $4, $5, $10. And it's like, oh, that's a really nice thing that I'm not going to throw away or think is junk mail. I'm going to actually use it. So that's probably I guess the best nurturing thing I've gotten in the mail.
So what law of influence are they using there?
Reciprocity. They give me this 5 or 10 thing, and I'll probably give exponentially more from that.
Yeah. You owe them.
I do.
They made you feel good.
They did.
You owe them.
I do.
It's not bad to do that.
No.
You got to do it strategically, though.
You do.
You got to be smart about it because that can cost a lot of money. And if you send it to someone who doesn't care as much or is really against waste and paper or printing, it could backfire. So I'm glad that worked.
But to that end, listen to your donors, and I'm not trying to plug MarketSmart, but maybe I am. Through our surveys, we see this all the time. There are comments left. You guys send me way too much mail. Please take me off. Well, please do what your donor asks. They're going to appreciate you much more for it. If they tell you, I don't want to receive direct mail anymore, take them out of that list. But that doesn't mean you can't still email them something that's valuable.
Well, how about taking it one step forward? How about leaving a voicemail for them and sending them an email saying, we heard you. We are taking you off. You'll notice that you're not going to get communications from us. If you do, here's my direct contact. Please let me know. We are a big organization. There are a lot of things, and we're overworked. We're working very hard on your behalf. So sometimes things do fall through the cracks, but I am your direct conduit, and I'm here to engage with you if there's an issue. I don't want to upset you in any way. Think of the fact that they opted out. Someone opted out, perhaps through our survey or any other way, is an unbelievable opportunity for building that relationship. It's two-way. But here's what most people do at nonprofits is they get the message and then they're like, all right, I'll opt them out. Wow. You just missed a massive opportunity to build that relationship. All you did was go to your computer and opt them out. You didn't let them know that you opted them out. You didn't let them know that you heard. You didn't know that you listened. You didn't let them know that you cared. If you had the mindset that your job is to make that donor feel good, you would have called. If you had given to another organization and then asked them to opt you out and they called you, you would have felt good and known, wow, we should be doing that for our donors. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, because one of the common experiences opting out is you're not sure if that actually worked. You're on edge. Like, am I actually opted out? Am I going to get another email from the system? Because I've opted out of sites 10 or 20 times and I'm still on their email.
Well, they don't care.
They don't care. Yeah.
They don't care. And I blame the machine. This is the machine. I don't like the machine. I like the fundraisers. I like the staff. I like the donors. I like the beneficiaries. I even like the board. But I don't like the machine. And there's this groupthink that is saying to people, well, I don't want to pop up because somebody's going to tell me in that meeting that no. And the groupthink is what's destroying and making people cynical.
Yeah.
There is a massive river of opportunity if only people at nonprofits would get creative and think about how it really feels to be the donor. Here's a perfect example. So this same person that I was talking to yesterday, we were talking about online donate pages, right? Now, that same day, right before my call, I was looking for a certain widget online, certain kind of software for writing proposals. We're doing proposals around here all the time. There's got to be some software that can help us write proposals faster. It's the same thing over and over and over. It's got to be something that makes it better, faster, and plus so that one person around here can be in control of the whole system. And if they make a change to the contract or something, then it's universal for all of our account managers, account coordinators, whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagined that. I thought, wouldn't it be great if that existed? I Googled it. I found it. But here's the point of the story. As soon as I get on their first page, a little pop-up box pops up. It says, hi, I'm Steve. I'm the CEO of whatever the thing was, and I'm here to help you. Just feel free to chat anytime. Right? Then I go to the pricing page. That's what I wanted to look at first, see if this is out of my range. I go to the pricing page. Someone else pops up. I think her name was Jenny. It said, I'm here to help with pricing. Any questions you have, please let me know. Something like that. And then I went to another page. It was case studies. And then they said, want to hear more stories? Let me know. I'd be happy to hop on a call. So I'm sitting there. I'm almost ashamed because at MarketSmart, we just have the regular chat thing.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, these guys really outdid us. I've never even thought of that. Brilliant. Highly relevant experience. Think about this. I have never in my entire life seen a chat box, except for our customers, because we've done them for them.
Yeah.
But I have never seen a chat box pop up on any nonprofit website or especially on the donate page. Think of how many people have problems with the donate page. Some of those donate pages are unbelievably complicated and hard to fill out. Why not put a chat tool there? It's so simple. Put a person to wait and help people, donate. That is where the rubber is meeting the road. I could sit in here all day and brainstorm little areas of opportunity where you can pluck fish out of the river and eat like a pig. Okay? So here's my story, though, is my daughter goes to college. She's in her first year. My synagogue is not 400 miles away. So where's she going to go? She finds a Chabad, which is this little, synagogue, and they're used to this. They're right there on the campus, and they take care of the kids, and that's great. So I hear my daughters telling me how great they are. They take care of me. They feed me. They asked me if I needed a blanket. It was going to be cold. I mean, they're great. They're just great people, and they're taking care of my daughter. So at the end of the year, I sent them a few $100. I thought, well, gosh, I got to do something. They didn't even ask. I sent it right in, right? So I guess they connected 2 and 2 or 1, but they called me and they emailed me. I had to call her back. I called her back, and she knew who I was. And she went on and on. I mean, how many Warners are there? Well, I guess there could be a lot, but they know my daughter. And
right.
So they called and we had a nice long chat. It was beautiful.
It's awesome.
And she gushed over my daughter to me, not because she was trying to get an angle on me to get more money. No. We had a genuine conversation. Okay.
Fantastic, yeah.
What was it? 3 weeks later, maybe 4 weeks later, I get this little annual report thing that was clearly printed off of her desktop color printer, and it's stapled together. And it shows the financials of the Chabad, and there's pictures of the kids and the different people in the community who are benefiting, and little messages about what they did here, what they did there. There was a volunteer day. They helped out the community and picked up garbage, this kind of stuff. And then on one of the pages, she circles this beautiful little face, this little kitten, this little puppy face.
Aww.
And she put an arrow pointing to my daughter.
Wow. This person gets it.
And she gets it. She doesn't get anything about fundraising. When I talked to her about fundraising. She's like, yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Wow.
Of course she doesn't. She hasn't been poisoned by the machine. She just knows how to be a good human being. So guess what I'm going to do? I left him a $4 billion.
Poor Bill.
I don't have $4 billion. No, I got to give you guys raises.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Yeah, no. Okay, so
But
that's my story, though. I love it. And by the way, here it is. And I forgot about the note they wrote. Hi, Greg and
And
Nessa.
your wife. Oh, wow.
Oh, she remembered my wife's name. I didn't even think about that.
So this is just something that, think about all of the work that this took on the back end, though. First off, you just gave, right? And you, like you said, how many Warners are there, right? So she obviously went to figure out what your connection was and found that your daughter was part of their interactions, right? So then she probably looked into your daughter's files, found who, is on the promissory notes or whatever for your loans, whatever you do, and figured out who you were, got your email, got your phone number, and reached out to you. And then this was mailed to your home address.
Yeah.
She wrote all kinds of stuff, and I see this arrow right here.
Yeah, I just pulled it out. There's my
Wow.
little cookie. There's my little baby. She's right there with all the
But
volunteers.
this is fantastic, and it's great that. Yeah, I bet you're not the only person that she did that.
I'm
for.
never gonna throw away this piece of garbage that they call an annual report. I love this annual report. This is the greatest annual report I've ever had in my entire life.
But look at these real life people,
Yeah.
real life stories, and you know it because you know one of them. This isn't just a series of photos that was taken off of social media somewhere. This is impact.
Yeah, these are real people. This
Right.
is good stuff, and the cutest one is right there. All right, they made me feel really good. I love this. I'm gonna wallpaper my office with this thing. All right. So on the high note, what did we learn? We learned about making people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that millennials are cynical.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not. I never saw Tim not smile. Yeah. Do you ever feel pain? He's always happy. Do you ever get angry? I mean, you ever kick?
I have
can?
other emotions as well, but
You
generally I'm pretty happy.
He's a happy guy.
Yeah.
All right, Tim.
Yeah.
Jen,
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining our crazy podcast this week.
this was tons of fun.
It was, yeah.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
Peace.
Friday.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Engagement Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review on iTunes and pass it along to a colleague. If you're curious about what we do, make sure to check out iMarketSmart.com and to download the ultimate how-to guide for conducting nonprofit donor surveys found at www.iMarketSmart.com/survey report. Thanks for listening.